and you all know people in your life that have been manufacturing reasons, unfortunately, most of which are your parents or your grandparents or whoever else. Like Molly's grandfather's an anomaly because other than being a gnarly old bastard, who I happen to know in another lifetime, but he didn't give a fuck. And even his granddaughter says he was a bastard. I mean, and you'd probably say something nice about, my grandfather was this, my grandfather was that. But it's the people that, take a step, not knowing whether it's slippery, not knowing whether it's icy, not knowing whether, it's like, for those of you that have ever tried to go across a frozen pond, in theory, it's supposed to be 3 feet thick. And some of you in here would do spreadsheets. It's, it might only, Tony said, it might only be 3 inches thick if you get right over there because the sun hits that too much, yada, yada, yada. Well, unless you actually step out on the shit, you don't know. You don't know. But the dream team is there to support you because they've gone out on that slippery thing. And some of which have fallen in, and so they know. And so they'll tell you, no, you better not do that, Peter. If we go over here and we stay close to the tree line and the ice will be thicker. Well, I don't even know if that's true, if the ice is thicker close to the tree line. But, and that's what it's all about. But even with the best dream team in the world, if you don't take action, and I've alluded to one of the kids that's got as good a dream team as there is on the planet, and they've decided on 2 different big deals not to go forward. Now, if I was on that board, that wouldn't have happened. But and that's the potential downside of being young and doing these deals, is that if you don't have somebody that's your champion on this fucking thing, I mean, they're going to come up with a reason why, 6 out of the 7 think like he does, even though he's done a lot of deals and no, there's too much risk. And because one of the challenges is these guys are at the zenith of their career, the end of their careers normally. They're in their golden or platinum years, or however you want to phrase it, so they don't want to be associated with a fuck up. And I don't blame them. I'm one of the few, I can take a couple more fuck ups, I don't make a shit. I got plenty of successes I don't care. But that's not normally the case. Normally the case is that they don't want to be associated with fuck ups. And you can't really blame them. But you can't have everybody on the board that doesn't want to be associated with fuck ups. Because then if you have 100%, then it's easy for them to become self-fulfilling. Oh, well, Christian doesn't like it, Noble doesn't like it, Tony doesn't. Yeah, we don't like it. Too much risk. You got to have somebody that wants to push your project forward, and that's why I say everybody's in a hurry to have a fucking board meeting. You don't need these fucking board meetings. But if you're going to have a board meeting, make sure you meet with the board members prior to the board meeting and sit down and make sure you know exactly how they're going to vote on every motherfucking item on the agenda. So you know surprises. We want unanimous 100% votes approved. And there's nothing illegal, immoral, or wrong with that. Now, this afternoon, after the breakout time, you're all invited to Sally and I getting married in the drawing room. Would normally be in the chapel, but since Sally doesn't want to have to undo the chapel and undo the trophy room to put it back, because normally we do it in the chapel, but it'll be in the drawing room in front of the Christmas tree. So I'm going to make her honest woman for the 6th time. This is the 6th time we're doing this. Sixth time. We've been married, let's see, twice at the South Pole, once at the North Pole, once here, and once in Vegas, if I remember them all. Okay. Pardon?
Was it Little Lake Chapel?
No. It was at the, what's the, I can't even think of the name, the expensive, what's the, one of the new expensive, pardon? Bellagio. Got married at the Bellagio. And we've got pictures of me shooting, this is when we were getting married, but I'm shooting craps. I don't gamble. But and Sally and I, or Sally's throwing the dice, I forget. And they came up 7. This was right after the ceremony. And for 6 people at that Bellagio wedding, cost me as much as any of the trip to fucking the South Pole. I mean, I don't know who can, well, Sally said that we didn't do it like everybody. Who can fucking afford to get married there? Everybody runs off to Vegas to get married. They must be getting married someplace that I didn't, because you can't afford it. I mean, it's fucking expensive. But anyway, the 6th time, and then we'll have champagne, and then we'll sit around and pontificate about, I don't know what you pontificate about. But after lunch, we're going to have breakouts. We're going to just meet here briefly right after lunch, and then you're going to go to your, and I want to ask you, I'm going to go around. A has got what left other than the business school? Okay. Group B. You've got, don't you, a film deal? So you've got 2 deals plus the business school. Okay. Group B.
It doesn't have a business school.
Okay, just the business school, nothing else. You don't have a 3rd fashion deal or nothing? Now that I know you went to school with him, you know.
A program.
Okay, a program. Okay, alumni. Okay, so you just got the business school. Group C.
2 cases plus business school.
Okay. Group D.
We are nearly to the 2nd case. So the question is, should we do the business case first or run through the...
No, we'll run through the 2nd case. So you got 1 before the business. Okay. E.
1 before the business case.
Okay. Now you're going to be. We're getting the information put together, but you're going to get a couple more bits of information to put on your thumb drives this afternoon. You're getting 2. I'm going to decide which 2, but you're going to get the mother lode plus another business school. I'm going to review it during lunch, but I may give the mother lode to all 5 groups to see how the different answers I get. Okay? Now that I've seen you work. And in my infinite wisdom and genius, the groups I put together have worked pretty well. And some would say, I don't want to be like Gory and go overboard and say that they all work perfectly, but they work pretty well. Because I have evened out, based on my interfacing with you the past few months, and some longer looking at your reports and listening to your bullshit, etc., on Zoom calls, and they're pretty equal. They're pretty equal. And so that's why I'd be interested to see what the 5 answers would on the mother lode would come back. Now, in theory, there's 100 answers to the mother lode case. But based on what you've learned here, there's only 1 fucking answer. There's only 1. But ascertaining, and even though I've made it sound easy, finding out what EBITDA is in cash flow, when you look at deals, they're not just going to come and say, this is cash flow and this is EBITDA. That's not how it works. You got to figure it out. And with your correct financial ability you got, I'm curious to see what you come back with 5 different times on what you think cash flow is, free cash flow is, and what you think potential debt service is if you were going to do this deal. And I will be highly surprised if you all come back with the same number. In fact, I know I won't say nothing's impossible, but it's not likely you'll come back with the same number. But it's a good exercise. It's also a good exercise for you to see how other people looked at it, because now you've worked, you've been fucking each other now 3 or 4 days, each group. So you all roll over, little honey, can you go a little faster? Yeah, you know that, all that shit now, right? But when you see how so there's a reason why they're up in Carrington Cottage. There's a reason. He just sits back and okay. So now some of you take the lead, some of you defer to the others. This is just so when you come up with these numbers. Okay.
We have split group with 5 and one group with 3? Or
No, we have. Well, who was Bert with? What group? Oh, so you've only got 3.
Yeah.
So it's the 3 Musketeers.
Plenty of power.
Oh yeah, well, Francisco's sister. Oh yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Yeah.
Who are you trying to ditch, Robert?
Are you renting out a team member?
No, the idea is just should we take one from the 5 and so
What's on offer?
No, we are 4. We are fine.
No, we'll just leave the groups the way they are. We'll leave the groups where they are. Okay. Any questions? Okay, let's break for lunch. See you later, YouTube. And the